Hello there. How are you doing today? I hope that you're doing very well, and welcome to this video. If you don't know me, my name is Brooke Cormier, and I'm a professional artist who's been painting full-time for pert near 7 years now.
Wow, time flies.
As you could probably tell from the title, this video is about taking risks with art, and today I'm going to be sharing with you a very risky project that I recently completed. The adrenaline was a pumpin', my friends. As we seamlessly transition into the art making portion of the video, I would like to talk to you a little bit about the importance of taking risks as an artist, as well as the fear associated with it. As I mentioned before, painting has been my full-time job for several years now. I still can't believe that that's my reality, and I feel so fortunate to be able to say that I'm making a living from my passion. That being said, there are many challenges that have come along with that. One of the biggest being finding a balance between playing it safe and taking risks with my art. Over the years, I've built an audience for my work, and I know what they like. I know what paintings sell quickly, or in other words, what creations are safe to invest my time and energy into because they are more or less guaranteed to result in a sale. For me, this is usually in the form of a realistic, picturesque landscape or floral painting, which I love to paint, but anytime I venture away from this particular style and subject matter, I feel fear. I'm afraid that if I take the risk and create something different that is outside the safe zone, it may not work out, resulting in a direct blow to my livelihood. When you rely on selling your artwork to pay for the roof over your head and the food on your table, it can be really scary to take risks and experiment. I don't have any other income to fall back on if things don't work out, and for that reason, it's been hard for me to just throw caution to the wind and pursue all the creative projects that I feel called to. But after living in the safe zone for so many years and having so many stagnant periods where I felt frustrated with my work, I've come to realize that that's not truly living my artistic dream. As artists and creative beings, I think it's in our nature to experiment and take risks, to try to execute our crazy ideas and then come up with new ideas along the way. And for that reason, this year I've committed myself to exploration, experimentation, and risk-taking, which is where this project comes in. I've wanted to paint this particular scene for a while now. I took the reference photo during a beautiful weekend on the Austrian countryside with some friends. The wildflowers were in full bloom, and I was just in awe the whole weekend of how beautiful everything was. It really felt like I was in a movie or something. Coupled with this urge to paint these beautiful wild poppies was my increasing interest in embroidery and the idea of incorporating it into a painting. And so this project was conceived, creating an original oil painting, stabbing it repeatedly with a needle and thread, and hoping for the best.
2 weeks later.
the painting set, I decided it would be smart to do some embroidery practice before I attempted to do it on the painting. I bought this stretched canvas print off Facebook Marketplace for super cheap and thought it would be the perfect thing to practice on since it needed some spicing up anyway. So I learned some stitches from a YouTube video and got to work. There's something really meditative about embroidery that I just love. It may seem like tedious work, but I enjoyed every minute of it. I noticed that the canvas was creasing a lot after embroidering the leaves and had to figure out a solution, so I posted about it on my Instagram story, and many people told me to spray the back of the canvas with water and then when it dries it should tighten up. I tried that and it helped a bit, but the creases were still quite noticeable, so then I tried ironing it. I put the print face down on a clean towel, set the iron to the lowest heat, and just went at it. This really seemed to do the trick, and I was super happy with how it turned out. Happy enough to hang it over my kitchen table as a placeholder until I can afford some better art. So, I have officially come to the scariest part of the project, and that is embroidering the painting. I was really happy with how the test embroider went, although the biggest difference there is that that was on a print that I paid probably 20 bucks for, and this is on an oil painting. There are layers of gesso and oil paint and varnish on this canvas, and I'm not even sure if the needles I'm going to use are going to be able to
Get through all those layers.
but I guess we're gonna just have to find out. I'm pretty nervous to get started because I actually really like this painting and I don't want to ruin it, but I am in my experimentation era, and that entails experimenting and taking risks and doing the scary stuff because that's what results in the breakthroughs. So I hear. So I guess there's nothing left to do than just to dive in and get started and hope that I don't completely ruin it. After the varnish dried, I brought the painting on a little field trip with me, and together we picked out a bunch of embroidery floss that matched the colors of the painting perfectly. Here I'm just kind of planning what will go where and choosing what color to start with. I decided to go with this dark blue because I thought it blended in the most, and I wanted the first stitches on the painting to be as inconspicuous as possible, just in case it was a total bust from the get-go. I was surprised how easily the needle went through the canvas. I didn't realize how much looser the weave of this canvas was compared to the print I practice on, so that was a pleasant surprise. I took sewing lessons as a kid and have completed many sewing projects in the past, so I'm pretty comfortable with a needle and thread, but this was pretty different. I felt like there was a lot more at stake with this project, and my anxiety levels were definitely reflecting that. But the more I stitched, the more comfortable I felt, and maybe, just maybe, things were actually gonna work out. I don't really know what kind of outfit this is. I must have been in some kind of mood. I guess I like to take fashion risks as well as art risks. Okay, maybe I'm talking a little too much now. I'm just gonna let you kick your feet up and enjoy this crispy embroidery footage and listen to some relaxing music. And I'll catch you at the end of the video. It's me again, I'm back. Did you miss me? You don't have to answer that. The time has come to reveal the final product. From the back, it kind of looks like trash, but lucky for me, this side will not see the light of day. I also decided to paint the sides black because the white was just a little too jarring. I'm trying to think of like more things to say to build the anticipation, but can't really think of anything right now. So here you go. In all her glory. I'm actually really happy with how it turned out. There's a quote that comes to mind from internationally renowned American sitcom The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, where Zack says, "Aim low and avoid disappointment." Which I really think is the approach that I took with this project, and therefore I'm thrilled. I I really love how the embroidery adds a whole other dimension to the painting. When looking at it straight on, it's not as noticeable at first and you really just focus on the details of the painting. But then when adjusting your viewpoint, your perspective changes and you begin to see new textures, lines, and shapes that almost give it this abstract component, which I think is pretty cool. I don't really like about the painting is that the holes where the needle poked through the canvas are actually quite big, and when you hold it up to the light you can actually see all the holes, which kind of looks cool but wasn't the look I was going for. And I think in order to fix that, I'll just have to experiment in the future with different kinds of canvas and different needle sizes. But that's part of the fun, right? We are seeing what works and what doesn't work and just learning. So it's still scary to experiment and take risks, but it's always rewarding when you genuinely enjoy the process, and even more so when things actually turn out. Moving forward, my plan is to balance the time that I spend in and out of my safe comfort zone. This way I can still feel some security in my income while satiating all my crazy artistic urges that just make life worth living. I would love to know your thoughts on this subject. Maybe you have some very helpful tips on how you strike the balance between riskiness and safeness. Or maybe you're just working on a really fun creative project. I would love to hear about it, so let us know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I'm not gonna beg, but if you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the notification bell. That's new. I've never asked anyone to do that before, but apparently it helps because then you're notified when I upload a video and you can watch it instantaneously. Toss a like my way, all the good stuff. I would really appreciate it. I'm building this thing, you know, brick by brick, and everything counts. Every little comment and every little like is always appreciated, you guys. And thank you for just sticking and hanging around with me. I think it's cool that you did that. I'm Brooke Cormier, and I'll see you next time.